I had a lot of fun with this DFS lineup. I don't know about you guys for the Final Four. And we offer, folks, if you want to, you're out there. I see 431 people watching this right now. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you're watching this, you know, we invite you to come play DFS with us. So hop on in. I don't know about you guys.
This is fun too on this one, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun here. I don't know about you guys, but guards. Let's start with guards. My highest price guard, and I just feel like this guy has a knack for big games. Maybe I'm full of shit. I don't know. I went with Cam Spencer at 7,200, the former Rutgers Scarlet Knight, who I did call an asshole for leaving Rutgers for UConn. But I do think in big moments, he tends to play well, in my opinion. So I'm going to take Cam Spencer for 7,200. Anyone else got Cam Spencer on their roster?
Me.
Boom. What's your logic there?
I think Hawkins had a big Final Four last year. Cam Spencer's answered the bell every single time this year. I think it takes he's a winner, man. He takes it upon himself. He's going to have a big Final Four as well.
Especially if it's a close game. I feel like he's going to be just.
He's got big nuts, man. He takes and makes big shots. He's fearless, and he's a prick. That's I like
in the most complimentable way possible.
I like this
prick.
I like this. Bieniek hates Grant Nelson. We hate Cam Spencer. It's just I like this. NC Nick, who's your highest price guard?
All right. Well, just in general, I mean, one game has their total is 16 points higher than the other.
Yep.
So I'm focusing on Bama UConn big time. 6 of my 8 players reside in that game. And everything you said about big nuts taking big shots, that also applies to Mark Sears. High upside. Upside is 40, 50 fantasy points. He's my most expensive guard.
There you go. You always were a Sears catalog guy, huh? Didn't have the money for Playboy back in the day. We just use the old Sears catalog.
Hey, man,
right?
When you're a teenager, you take what you can get.
Bieniek, you got Mark Sears or Cam Spencer? Or if not, who's your highest price guard?
I do not. I originally had Cam Spencer, so unfortunately didn't have the money to roster him. And I do agree with Nick in saying that I'm mainly focusing on the UConn Bama game because of the much higher total. However, I think that the matchup that I want to target specifically actually in both games is in the front courts. I think both UConn and Purdue will have their way in the front court. So my highest priced guard is Braden Smith, mainly because he's just going to have so many dishes to Zach Edey. He's averaging 9.3 assists in the NCAA tournament right now, 30.65 fantasy points in postseason play. So Braden Smith, just plainly because he's an assist man. That's my highest price guard.
Does anyone else have Braden Smith on their roster?
Nope.
Me neither. Shout out to Bieniek getting it done there. Well, my second highest price guard is Lance Jones. 4,900. I'm bargain shopping with my guards. I think Lance Jones is going to if Purdue wins, they're gonna need him to have a big game. At 4,900, I think he's underpriced. Am I crazy? Were you guys shocked by that one? I thought he'd be a little higher. Mac, did you have Lance Jones on your roster?
No, I thought about him. I considered Lance Jones, but I ended up staying off Lance Jones. He's more of a defensive guy for me.
Yeah.
I'm with the Colby. Yes. I like that transfer, getting Lance Jones. I think he adds, there you go, a new element to the backcourt that Purdue did not have last year. And he does play very good defense. He'll probably get, a couple steals. And I think he can, put up a solid game. He should be over 5K. So I do have him as one of my guards. Colby, I have to imagine that you're not counting your utility positions if your second highest guard total is only 4,900.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems like you and Bieniek are going heavy on the front court. I went heavy on guards and went cheaper with the front court.
Mario's asking what site do we use? DK, and we will tweet out an invite. So give us a follow at TC.
Nick, do we have one created yet or no?
Yeah, it's up.
All right, I'll put the link in the YouTube chat.
There we go.
So you do have Lance Jones. So Mac, who is your second highest price guard?
I actually went heavy on guards. Spencer was my third. I took both Bama guards, Sears and Estrada. I think if Bama's gonna fucking stay in this game, chuck, shoot those 3 balls, push the pace as much as possible. So I have Sears and Estrada. They're gonna have the blue light against UConn.
Noah, how about you for your second highest priced guard, essentially?
My second highest priced guard, and honestly, I don't, in my opinion, think I'm gonna retract that statement. My second highest priced guard is 5,800. Stephon.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
I'm sorry.
Mainly because I think that if anybody's gonna play UConn, I think the 2 most rostered players, just in my head, of the expensive guys. Most of these starters are pretty expensive. They don't know which one's gonna go off because UConn kind of has one big performance either game or every game, and it varies from player. I think the 2 most rostered guys are going to be Newton and Spencer, and I decided to attack to fade that. So I went Stephon Castle here at 5,800. He's averaging 21 fantasy points per postseason game so far this year, and he hasn't had one of those blow-up games yet. I think he's capable of doing it. So I had Castle at 5,800. My next guard also from UConn, because I am fading the other guards, and I talked about that already. I have Hassan Diarra as well, averaging 16 fantasy points in the postseason as well. So I think one of those 2 is going to have a solid game and overperform their price. So that was the logic behind that.
So Nick, you have a bunch. I only have one more guard left. You have a bunch more, right?
I do. And Colby, I'm shocked. You're just singing his praises. Yeah, he was in Greenville. He was at ECU. Tristan Newton for 7,900. Again, I loaded up on the most expensive.
A turncoat is a turncoat.
But I loaded up on the most expensive guard for Bama and for UConn. I mean, if you're not fading Alabama and the 104th ranked defense, if you don't have at least 3 Huskies, then I think you're doing this wrong. But so I paid up for Newton.
Look, I've been to Connecticut. I fell asleep. All right. Greenville. To me, I don't know what he's thinking. You're going to go cash. You're going to go get a bag of cash, but what, fall asleep? You're going to sing Christmas carols and shit. What's going on here? All right. I couldn't roster him because it didn't make a lot of sense. I know he's bringing home a natty, but just don't forget everything you learned. Greenville, North Carolina. All right. G Vegas. My final guard is Casey Morsel, former Wahoo. Look, hear me out on this angle. After he has a shitty game, scoring wise, I feel like he's always good defensively, but go back to the beginning of the ACC tournament, 8 points, followed that with 25. The next game, 6 points, followed that with double digits with 11, right? And that's carried on pretty much. At Texas Tech, he only scored 8, followed it with 11 at Oakland. Same situation. Well, against Duke, he only scored 8 points. So I'm expecting double digits. 4,700. We bargain shopping. Let's go. Anyone got Morsel?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. He's the only guy for NC State I have. It's similar to the Lance Jones play.
Continue.
Those guys are going to be on the court for like 30 plus minutes. And, they might not even score in double digits, but they're going to get a handful of rebounds, a couple assists, a couple steals, maybe a block. I just think at the under 5K price, where you got to have a couple guys in that range, I think they play more minutes than Diarra. Diarra might have a higher upside, but those guys are going to be on the court.
All right. Well, all my guards are done. Mac, do you have any? Are your guards gone?
No, both my utility guys are guards, and I took a couple stabs. I like Lawyer with Purdue. I think he's a forgotten guy. He can make shots, and then the guy that fucking set up this whole thing, O'Connell. I think O'Connell's an X factor here.
That's an interesting. I thought about that one.
Everybody
I thought about that.
Yeah. I mean, he has not made shots really in the NCAA tournament as much, but he came up big in the ACC tournament. We know he can hit the big shot. Give me O'Connell. What was he priced at? I think it was at 5,500, and Lawyer was 5,000. for my utility guys.
There we go. NC Nick, are you done with your guards?
No, I actually have one more guard too, because both of my utilities were guards. Back to Alabama this time. Rylan Griffin for 5,700. Three straight games in double digits. Last game he had 13, 4 boards, 8 assists, a steal, stuff in that stat sheet. And again, I got to get guys in this game.
All right, Bieniek, you got any more guards?
Yeah, I punted on a guard. I went with Jaden Taylor of NC State. He was removed from the starting lineup during this NCAA tournament run, so I think he's not really going to be rostered at all, for good reason too. He hasn't done too much in the NCAA tournament. But yeah, it was more for the price to get under the salary cap. But I mean, if you expand it through the ACC tournament run, he's played 24 minutes a game, and he's averaged 7, 3, and 1.5 assists. So it's good enough for 3.9K.
There we go. 3.9K, huh?
I mean, it's a punt play, so I'm not going to criticize it. But when DJ Horn was banged up, that's when Taylor was getting more minutes, and Horn is healthy now, so you've seen his court time diminish.
How many minutes has he got recently?
So since Horn came back, he's averaging 18.8 minutes per game.
I think you just swayed me on taking him, because I was gonna take a shot on the Alabama big man, Diabate, the freshman from New York. But no, I think you swayed me, so I will add a guard to it. Let's go, Bieniek. You're onto something with your fucking cocktail napkin and your hatred for random players. Let's go.
Grant Nelson's not random.
Well, speaking of Grant Nelson,
I think
I got him at 6,200. He's gonna put his shaft on your forehead, Noah.
My buddy at the bar. I don't know if I should say this, but my buddy at the bar, probably 4th time he's watched college basketball, specifically probably the 2nd time he's watched Alabama. He goes, a couple of beers deep, that guy kind of has a Hitler look to him with the hair, the blonde hair.
Unfair.
The
No.
I mean, I can't unsee it.
That is a horrible comparison. It is Nick Cage in Raising Arizona. Nick Cage in Raising Arizona is Grant Nelson.
Former North Dakota Bison. North Dakota State
he does have one of the worst mustaches ever.
That's Nick Cage in Raising Arizona. It's perfect.
One of the worst mustaches. And then growing up, when I had short hair, my mother used to say cowlick in the back, and that's just because the hair would stick up. It was just stuck.
Look, I don't know. Fashion doesn't really hit North Dakota. I don't know if you guys caught that. All right. He's he's been in North Dakota the past 3 years. All right. He's been sitting over there. North Dakota, you don't got to do shit. You just go outside. Actually, you don't go outside. You stay inside and drink. But yeah, I have Grant Nelson. Anyone else got Grant Nelson? He's going to go for 25.
Yeah, I got Grant Nelson, and I got another guy that's got some bad fucking facial hair. Caravan. He's got a bad fucking hairdo too. I got Caravan and Nelson.
He's got no excuses. He's in Connecticut. New York City's right there. I feel like you go into New York City, they're judging you. You know what I mean? You got no excuses when you're in fucking North Dakota or Alabama. I feel like everything's a pass.
Grant Nelson was too inconsistent for me, but I do have Caravan because Caravan is like Mr. Reliable. I mean, he's going to get somewhere between like 18 and 28 fantasy points, especially maybe even higher now, just because they're playing such a bad defense. So I agree with Mac there.
Noah, can you Google image Nicolas Cage in Raising Arizona and put that up on the screen if you can?
Yeah, I'll do it after I give out my pick. That way we get another rotation.
We'll give out your pick right now then.
Because Nick just went. Actually, I'll give out my next two. No, I'll do my highest paid forward. I had to represent the brand. I went with Zach Edey. He's averaging 56.68 fantasy points in the postseason. You either have to take him or you have to fade him. I chose to take him. I think it's a huge advantage down low on NC State. Burns ain't stopping him. So
I mean,
I like Edey.
I played that music because he's on my roster too. There's not a chance in the hell I'm not rostering Zach Edey after everyone's giving him shit for having a few cocktails and sniffing some pussy, right? What's going on? I like this guy Edey. All right, I don't like the refs calling it, but I like him. All right,
So
let the guy have some fucking scattered ass.
My problem with that play is that there's another guy for $3,000 cheaper who's also been over 50 fantasy points in 2 of the last 3 games.
He's also on my roster.
I went Klingon.
I don't like these Connecticut bastards.
I think the UConn front court is gonna have a day. I didn't have enough for both Klingon and Caravan. Unlike Nick, I have Klingon and Samson Johnson, so I'm getting the centers points. Whenever Klingon comes out, they'll do the alley-oop shit to Samson Johnson, so all he has to do is jump and dunk, and I'll get those points because Johnson's averaging just under 10 fantasy points per game in the postseason as well.
All right. Well, I didn't have enough money for this Klingon bastard. All right.
You didn't go with the Twin Towers?
Tell me somebody has DJ Burns, right?
You're goddamn right I do. He's America's sweetheart. All right. He's this guy, if he ever's in Los Angeles, which who knows, he's got an open invitation to the SGPN studios, but so do the occasional homeless person if you talk to Patty C. This is the best story going in sports. I can't fade that. Give me the burn man. Give me the burn victim. DJ Burns. Let's go. 6,700 bargain shopping. He's going to be slicing and dicing, playing point forward. No one else put DJ Burns on their roster. You fucking losers.
I don't like the matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neither do I.
I didn't have any of the 3 big guys.
That's one way to attack it too.
They're all going to get in foul trouble because
I also had Mason Gillis. That's my last guy. Mason Gillis, the vet.
Yeah.
The old Vietnam vet. He's been in college since Vietnam. Yeah.
That's my favorite matchup in the NCAA, into the Final Four. Gillis is a 4-man that can shoot it. What did Trey Townsend do to NC State? He murdered the Wolfpack. I love Gillis here. If he gets onto the court behind TKR, because TKR starts.
Yeah. I mean, let's jump in on that. You got that photo? You got that photo? Can you pull up a Grant Nelson photo?
Gillis is averaging 14 fantasy points in the postseason, and he's shooting 40% from 3.
No,
the postseason.
No, can you also pull up a Grant Nelson photo so we can compare?
I don't think I have the technology capability of doing that, but here we go.
I mean, come on.
Pretty good.
Zoom in on another one. Zoom in on another one there. This is perfect, dude.
That's great.
I mean, that one's good right there, but hold on, like dig a little deeper. This is fucking Grant Nelson, man.
If his hair was a tad longer, but yes, that's good.
So I gave away my whole roster. Everyone else gave away their whole roster. I know we're this unorthodox, but
yeah, Max got a couple of players to give since
I just have one. I
have one more too.
And I made the bold prediction that Edey and Burns are going to be in foul trouble. I think Klingon's going to be in foul trouble. They're going to put him in ball screens. Give me the backup at Purdue. Give me Kaufman. I like Kaufman. Whenever he's come in, he's been solid. He actually doesn't get that good a whistle either. But whenever he's called upon, he's productive. Trey Kaufman, Ren, as my last.
He starts
front court. Yeah. I thought he comes off the bench. Actually,
no, he starts. He started every game.
Started the 4.
What?
Oh yeah, Gills
plays the
comes
4.
off the bench. Gills comes off the bench. Yeah. I forgot they flipped them. Yeah, they play the same amount of minutes.
So we've given away all of our rosters. I'm going to.
No, I got one more guy.
Oh, okay.
My lowest price. This is my punt play. Feel free to criticize it, but he's the freshman for Alabama, one of their big men from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, right down the road, Jaron Stevenson. It's been hard to pinpoint which Bama big to go with from game to game, but just against Clemson, he came out of nowhere, played 25 minutes, 19 points, three boards, 2 blocks. I'll take a roll on the dice on Jaron Stevenson.
Hey, I like it. Look at that. Come on, especially that first photo. Click on that first photo. Not that one. The very first one.
That's the first one.
That's no. Go back. You were just there. The first one. Yeah. That's fuck. Come on. That's spot on. That's spot on. That's spot on. Go to the one with the shirt and tie. Shirt and tie. Come on. The
pretty
work
good.
I'm doing over here is fucking phenomenal. That one, not really, but that one, yeah, that one a little bit.
Too short a hair for me to buy in.
Oh, it's the face though, man. If you watch the movie, you'll be like, and Rob Donaldson said, "That's Hitler."
It was because of the awful
I
stuff.
think he's being sarcastic.
Yes, it was. I set up the scenario of my buddy was about 4 or 5 beers deep easy, and the thought came through his head. That's just bar talk.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Sure.
yeah.
But I'm 4 or 5 drinks deep too right now, and I'm saying this. You know what I mean? Folks, that's our show.